Hi YouTubers, my name is Layla. Thanks for coming to my channel, Let Go My Ego, where we talk about topics, anything random that has to do with letting go of our egos so that way we can thrive, we can be happy, we can live our best lives, we don't got to live a fake life, we can be true to ourselves, just all of the above. So letting go of our ego is all about what it says, letting go of the ego and living in spirit, living in the heart space, and letting go of everything that doesn't serve us. So today's topic is about letting go of fear. To me, fear is such a huge thing that we never really talk about. And of course, there's plenty of videos you can find on fear, but fear keeps you from living your life. Fear keeps you from being true to yourself. Fear keeps you from living your dreams. Fear keeps you from being your authentic self. And I'm speaking from experience because I have lived my whole life pretty much in fear in different levels. And there's still a level of fear to me, but I'm working on it every day. So I wanted to talk about how do we eliminate fear and exactly what is fear. So let's identify fear first. Fear is pretty much, to me, this is my definition, not Webster's, not anybody else's definition. Fear to me is a false belief, and it's kind of like convincing yourself that this false belief is true, and you deem this false belief to be a threat to your overall well being, whether it be a physical threat, a mental threat, whatever threat you consider it to be, it's usually all ego. So, and the reason why it's all ego is because it's a false, it's a fake self, and it's a fake belief. And usually we're feeding into this fear because our ego is dominating ourselves, it's dominating our minds, and we're not living in love and spirit. Now, there are legitimate fears. Like, I do have a fear of heights. I have a fear of snakes. We're not talking about those kind of fears. We're talking about the fears that you want to really conquer, and the fears that are getting in the way of you living your best life, following your dreams, and just having a healthy mind frame going into your day. So, the ways that I get rid of fear is mainly through meditation. Let's back up. The first step to getting rid of fear is to admit that there is a fear. So you have to be true to yourself and find out what it is that you're afraid of. And for me, I had to write this down and realize, like, what do I fear and where is this coming from? Because it definitely stops you from, pushing forward and believing in yourself. And a lot of times it's just things that we make up in our head for whatever reason. We could have fear from the thoughts that other people put in our head. We can have fear from propaganda, watching too much TV, media, news, shows, whatever you think. We can have it from so-called friends or real friends. We could have it from anybody, family, our upbringing. It's good to identify where the fear derives from, and to figure out, is this fear serving you? Usually no fear serves you. Just ask yourself that. I mean, what does me being fearful, how is me being fearful going to help my life? And a lot of times the answer is it won't. It will not help your life. And so we have to realize how to conquer it and to eliminate it. And like I said, I'm not talking about fears of jumping out of, airplane, or fears of standing in an alligator's mouth. I mean, that's a little outlandish, but not those kinds of fears. Fears to like really that you want to conquer, like for example, starting a YouTube channel, or fears of being on stage, or fear of going to college, or a fear of starting your own business. Those type of fears that are really kind of superficial fears, because it it's just a fear that you're creating in your head, and it's not going to help you. And I want all of us to thrive. I want all of us to be our best selves. So I mean, at the end of the day, just ultimately, you need to identify your fear. And you need to go within yourself. And the way I'm going within myself is to meditate. I meditate every single day. And let me tell you, meditation is not an easy feat. It's not an easy task, because literally you are silencing the mind, clearing the mind, whatever you want to call it, and learning to go within yourself. And even then, you're still not really silencing the mind. You're kind of going within. Your mind is still working, but now it's kind of focused on you. It's not focused on worldly things. It's not focused on what you have to get done today. It's not focused on what somebody has did to you or what happened last week or what's going to happen in the future. It's literally focused on the present moment and who you are at this moment in your life. So meditation is great, like literally spending 5, 10, 15 minutes a day or more if you can, going within yourself and asking yourself, hey, what do I fear? And where do these fears come from? And if you learn to focus on yourself, you will actually realize where they come from and what they are, and how you can get rid of them. And once you know what these fears are and you've identified them, you can actually focus your mind throughout the day on not feeding into that fear. And this is a beautiful thing, is to meditate and to do even affirmations that go against this fear. So let's say you have a fear of public speaking. You can say an affirmation like, I am a wonderful public speaker and I am courageous in front of other people. And to people who are not spiritual, this may sound corny, but let me tell you, this works. When you actually reprogram your mind and you say all these positive things about yourself that you may not actually believe at the time about yourself, but you can recreate your mind, you can recreate your being just by speaking those positive affirmations to yourself and saying them every day until you literally program yourself into believing it and being it. So, like they say, fake it till you make it. So, even if you don't feel beautiful, you could say, I am beautiful. I am gorgeous. Even if you don't feel that way. But if you say it every single day, trust and believe, you're going to start feeling beautiful, and it's going to show. Because confidence is definitely a beautiful characteristic and a beautiful, not a beautiful, I'm trying to think of the word, but you wear that confidence. People can see it. So, definitely positive affirmations and meditations are wonderful to release your fear, and try to do it every single day. So basically, overthinking also creates fear when you create problems that aren't even there. So learn to stop overthinking and thinking too much about a fear and then creating more fears to validate that first fear. Because remember, fear is an illusion. It does not exist. It only exists if you make it exist. Fear only exists if you believe that it exists. So if you believe that you aren't good enough, and your fear is not being good enough. But if you believe that you're not good enough, guess what? You're not going to be good enough. You fed it. You manifested it, and you're not going to do what you want to do. So ignore the BS. you know um you don't have to feed into your negative thoughts, your false illusions. We feed into it by overthinking and continuing this a vicious sick cycle of creating more issues and more fear that's in your head. And you know what, that's going to manifest in your life. And I'm speaking from experience. Like I said, I've been through so much in my life that you know it's almost like I was scared that anything would go right. Scared that anything would ever go right. But once I got into a state of allowance and didn't feed that thought, that's when things started to go right. Because I'm now allowing God, the universe, whatever you want to call it, to work for me. I'm no longer getting in my own way. And sometimes we get in our own way. We can be our own worst enemies. And, you know, we hurt ourselves by the way we think, by the way we feel, allowing drama to manifest into our life simply by being in fear, this false illusion. So let it go. It's just not worth it. So basically, if you're wondering where my eyes are going, I'm looking at notes because this is my first time doing a YouTube channel. So I'm gonna tell the truth. Yeah, I'm looking at notes, little notes that I made on how to eliminate fear. So yeah, we talked about meditation, clearing your mind. That's so important. Taking 5 to 10 minutes of yourself a day to actually go within yourself. Meditation is a great way to find peace of mind. And peace of mind means you're living in the present moment. You're not thinking about what happened yesterday. You're not thinking about what happened 10 years ago. Oh, yeah, she stole money from me 20 years ago. No, we're not worried about who said what to you, this and this and that. No, we're not worried about none of that because we're in the moment. We're in the present. So that's so important. Oh, This is the next thing that's super important, being true to yourself. I cannot emphasize enough how being true to yourself is so imperative to letting go of fear. So you can lie to others, you can lie to everyone all day, every day, but guess what? When you lay down at night, even when you wake up in the morning, you can't lie to yourself. And even if you do lie to yourself, your emotions don't lie, your inner being doesn't lie, your inner soul knows how you feel. So be true to yourself. If there's things you need to work on, admit it. Don't have a fear of failure. Don't have a fear that you're not great enough, because even through all of our flaws, we are still perfectly imperfect. And this is part of the human experience. We have to You don't have to do anything, but if you want to thrive and you want to be your best self in life, you have to learn to look within and be true to yourself. Be honest with yourself about things that you want to do in life. Be honest to yourself about who you are, things you need to work on. And if the life you're living is really serving you, when I say serving you, I mean, like, is it helping your spirit? Is it helping your emotions? Is it helping your finances? Is it helping your love life? Is it helping your friendships? Is it helping all aspects of you? And you just have to be real to yourself. That's it's just it's about being transparent to yourself. So be true to yourself, because you know what? You know, all you have is you. At the end of the day, all you have is you. When all is said and done, you want to be your best friend. Um, you know, um, I'm sorry, I went blank for a second. But sorry. This is my first time on YouTube, so bear with me. But you just want to be honest to yourself. It's so freeing, it's so liberating to be honest to yourself, to love yourself, and to not continue to put on this mask and this lie about who you really are, because you know who you are, the God knows who you are, universe knows who you are. Energy doesn't lie, neither do your emotions. So, and they tell the exact state that you are in life. So be true to yourself. That's so important. So let's see what's next. So we talked about fear existing. We talked about being true to yourself. Oh, this is so important. Besides being true to yourself and identifying the fear and meditation and whatnot, actually go for what it is that you fear. So if you fear being great, go for being great. Even if you stumble, even if you don't think you're great, guess what? Greatness is something that is practiced and refined over the years and over time. No one's born, or we're born great, but no one's born refining their passions. No one's born like being perfect. No one's born being doing what they want to do in the absolute best way. We have to refine our craft. Whether you do ballet, whether you're a mathematician, whether you're a scientist, whether you're a dancer, you have to refine your craft. Um, Beyonce wasn't Beyonce at the age of 5, or whoever, whatever your craft is, whether you're an entertainer, whatever, you have to just go for it. And you have to believe in yourself, and you have to say, I'm gonna get better and better and better. Even this is my first YouTube video, and I know I'm not doing the best I can do, but I'm doing the best I can do as of now. And I know that if I keep doing it every single day, I'm going to get better and better and better. And that's the mind frame that you have to have in whatever it is that you want to do. And I know my goal and my purpose in life is to inspire people, to help people, to, help bring out that light in people, because you know what? I'm learning to bring out the light within myself and to realize that you need to be a source to yourself. And so, you live your purpose, live your goals, do whatever it is that you wanted to do in life. Like, I have like a serious bucket list. It's like buckets upon buckets of things that I want to do, but you know what, I'm going to do them one at a time. But I know that I have to eliminate the fear and just do it. That's why I love that Nike saying just do it, because that is literally the key to just eliminating all your fears besides everything else I talked about is to just do it. Don't think about it. Don't, because if you're going to think about it, you're going to convince yourself on all the reasons as why you shouldn't do it. So if you just do it and you don't think about it, then you could think next time, was this really something I wanted to do, or what can I have done better? Think after it, but just try it and do it and see how it makes you feel, and see if it feeds your soul, and see if this is something that you absolutely wanted to do, because I promise you, you're going to feel so good, like how I feel right now making this YouTube video. Just eliminating your fears. So definitely be true to yourself, by just doing it, and stop being your biggest critic. Stop being your biggest hater. Sometimes we think other people are hating on us, but sometimes we can be hating on ourselves, like, just by convincing ourselves of why we shouldn't do this and why we shouldn't do that, knowing darn well that we really want to do it, and that's what our soul and our heart is calling us to do. So chat out the hater in your head, shut out the chatter and the haters, on the outside. Um, so be around people who support you and what you want to do, and if you don't have any supporters, support yourself. Be your biggest fan. That's what it's something I had to learn how to do. Just be my biggest fan and be my biggest support system. And it's a great feeling when you actually get to that level. And it's an everlasting and ongoing process to continue to be your biggest support system and your biggest fan, because when you've lived a life of looking for others to validate your existence, which I know I have. I'm going to be completely honest. I know I have definitely lived a life, because I'm an empath and I'm a codependent. I wanted people to like me and to love me for me. And it just got to a point where that's just exhausting. And I was like, I need to let go of the fear that I'm not good enough. See, there was the fear that, and my ego was saying, I have to prove myself, I have to get, no, 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 no. I didn't have to prove anything to anybody but myself. And so be your biggest support system, be your biggest, it's so liberating. And you know what, you're going to come to find that other people will support you too when you start supporting yourself. Genuine people will start supporting you too. And of course there's going to be those people that act like they're supporting you when they see you doing good and stuff, but you know what, you're going to be able to see right through those people, because energy doesn't lie, intuition doesn't lie. And what's done in the dark always comes to light. So so at the end of the day, let go of your fear. There's nothing to fear but fear itself. And like I said, fear is an illusion. It's what you create in your head. Let it go. It's not serving you. It's not helping you live your best life. In matter of fact, it's actually hurting you, and it's keeping you from living your best life, because you're maybe in a shell about something that you need to get done, or something that you want to get done, or maybe you don't think it's possible for you. But I promise you, if you just let go of the fear, anything is possible. And God is a miraculous God. Even if you don't believe in God, the universe, the energy, whatever you want to call it, let's just take the God factor out of there. Just that energy is going to manifest itself, because you are now living in love and confidence and peace. It's an ongoing practice. So just believe in yourself, eliminate that fear, learn to spend time with yourself, meditate. Even if you don't believe in meditation, maybe pray about it, something. Just spend that time with yourself, connect with yourself, do something to connect with yourself and a higher power. I promise you, it's one of the best things you can ever do for yourself. And yeah, that's all I have to say. So thank you so much for tuning into my channel, Let Go My Ego. It was a pleasure speaking to you all. I hope this message reaches somebody, and I hope it gives them the confidence to eliminate whatever fears that they are having. And if they can't just eliminate, it's not maybe going to happen overnight. It takes practice, but I promise, if you learn to have that confidence, you just do whatever it is that you want to do. You no longer care what anybody else thinks. You start being true to yourself, and you start connecting with yourself. I promise you, anything is possible, and you can do it all. Much love, much peace, much blessings. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I love you all. Have a good day.